Akosua said, she start putting injunctions on the assets. So she needs to put a charge on the assets. So I say injunction, but they actually charge. A charge where essentially you say you have an interest in the property, properties cannot be sold, or a charge cannot be placed on those properties, i.e. a bank loan or anything. It's because of where the assets are. The assets, I mean, the German assets, don't worry, she'll be fine. Okay. But the assets in Ghana is the reason why she started the process in Ghana.
Jermaine, I think my next question as well is obviously in our own small way as at now, what can we do aside trying to push the petition, talking about it and all, maybe in our various workplaces, organizations and what have you, what can we also do to push the agenda, not for this case alone, but obviously for precedent's sake as well. For instance, I am a civil servant. I work in the UK, and I know obviously, but I really can't find where exactly or what exactly to do. I don't know if I'm making any sense. So if there are ways that we could individually try and push stuff as well, and I'll get in your I'll have a chat with you as well. Thank you. Because I can't really say where I work. I mean, if you get the whole idea. But in my own small way, I know I can do something, but I really can't figure out what to do, if that makes sense. So maybe if we can, in our own individual ways, try and push in a way just so it could get somewhere. Because I think that the most important tool for us now is pushing it for it to get to the level where everyone is seeing, everyone is watching, and obviously there's eyes on them. Then and only then is when they probably do the right thing.
Yeah. So I think you're right. I think I want to, and I come on here to speak because I want to keep the momentum going. I think we need to keep pushing the petition. The petition is 23K, probably 24 by the end of today. The higher the petition, the more people see that we are interested, because by the time it goes to the Court of Appeal and if it goes to Supreme Court, you will see the numbers are rising. Even though we are still getting the German embassy to look at it, the higher the better. The higher you have a case to say, hey, this is of public interest and we need to do more. Equally, I think everyone should continue to stay invested in this case. The reason why I say this is everybody hopes that we get bored and tired of this. And we all move into our own little life and nobody says anything. And my Uncle Serwaa and my Ernestina, they accept defeat. And this is what they're expecting. This is what they hope will happen. And they get away with murder. That is it. So we need to consistently be on top of this, publish, even if it's just one or two going on, posting, doing things. In our workplace, for me, every day I wake up, I'm thinking, what should I do? Where can I send the petition to? What do I need to do? Who is the contact? Can I contact them? What can they do for me? Am I allowed to? Is this going to breach my civil service code of conduct? I'm always thinking of new ways, but I have to understand, Akosua Serwaa does not have a PR team. She doesn't have the power. So we have become her PR team. And we are the ones that are going to push and make the loudest noise. And I'm going to say this again, because I know it's boring hearing it over and over again. This is not just a fight for Akosua Serwaa or Mom Ernestina. It's not just them. It's a fight for all of us.
So Teresa, so mute you, Mr. As some crowd, we are ho. The poucho, Nkoaa, and suggestion, person can be na bet me a cat. Now we see why, Mr. Teresa, was your Teresa?
Mia.
Yes, Pacho.
Me Pacho, near me, dear Kakra, I will let me as Simia.
Okay,
Kakra, me basso. There was some capa.
Joanna, sorry. I normally ask the accounts that doesn't follow me to give their suggestion, because whenever they are up, they try to They try to.
The problem. So that's my view. My view is it's very hard to know because if this was a UK related issue, it'd be easier for me. I'll have the contact, I'll have the ability to put pressure on. But where is international, is a little bit German, it's a bit difficult for us. But I think the petition, sharing your friends, getting people to see it, keep posting and keep being engaged. And I think also, just so that we be prepared mentally that this is going to be a long litigated issue. So our support will at some point also be financial to be able to keep this going. So I think that is all it is. It's getting enough. If we get more supporters involved in this, then essentially, or your contribution could be minimal, like £10-20. But so the more we can get supporters, the less financial burden is going to be on us. But equally, the more we can keep this going, moving forward.
Okay, Jumana, just a quick question. As I'm in my own investigations, no, my own is say, and as I realize is say, Mami Akosua Serwaa can file a new application to seek the same results during the distribution of properties if she wishes so. And my question is say, yako appeals CA should in case say, sa time ni drew you know, you are saying that it will take a lot of time for this to be settled because of complexities ne woman. In the say they are share Lumba estate now. What can she do? Can she, with the case in the appeal court, can she still file for a new case to seek the same results?
So,
or what else can she do?
So Queen, I'll say this so maybe you can share this with the contacts. I think Marcus has said why she start putting injunctions on the assets. So she needs to put a charge on the assets. So I say injunction, but they actually charge. A charge where essentially you say you have an interest in the property, the properties cannot be sold. Or a charge cannot be placed on those properties, i.e. a bank loan or anything. So I think my thing would be, if I was Marcus Serwaa, and don't let people say to you, how can you're grieving your husband, how can you be worried about assets? It's your assets. If you have the ability to sell some of them in order for you to stop having to work at 60-something, then it's your assets. Don't let anyone guilt trip you into thinking that protecting your asset is a wrong thing. It's not a wrong thing. Because those are the same people that are using your assets for themselves. Okay, so let's be very clear on there. I would, if that was me, Marcus, these Brony and her people are very lucky they don't have someone like me in that, as Marcus said, was daughter. But my thing is to put a charge on every property and every asset to protect my interests. Now, the reason why you want to exhaust every avenue in this particular one is because what you don't want to happen is that there is the judiciary blocks her being able to get the same outcome through the distribution of assets stage. So I think there's a reason why they decided to carry on with this process, even though they will be able to also litigate the distribution of assets.
Jumana Pacho, you was such a hima wa hede di kochi.
I won't go trick a later na masamba biom.
What did you?
Mr. Chief Nkoaa.
We were going to party.
Chief Nkoaa. And the Queen to make some awful.
And that's when I was yes, some penny.
No, a Queen and Mammy, go ahead and make camp brofonosa. Indeed. Make my come and what to Nama come with Trina. Movie and among the brofona sound go so.
Okay, sorry.
Jumana me Pacho, since ye mu bebre wo honoma ase ye ni gidie wo Ghana ye judiciary system yimu. Mama Serwaa or Akonya na is there a possibility say or forgo whatever process is here now on be a fresh case maybe in Germany? Is it possible?
No, it's because of where the assets are. The assets are the assets. I mean, the German assets. Don't worry, she'll be fine. Okay. But the assets in Ghana is the reason why she started the process in Ghana. and the defendants are also based in Ghana. So when the judge is looking at the rule of law and is also looking at who has jurisdiction to hear the case, it will look at the defendants, where are they based. You also look at the assets, where are the assets based. And that is part of it's a whole. I'm not going to go through the that complexity, that legal, but that the reasons why she's doing this is because of where the assets are based. But Daddy Lumba's, if she had issued divorce in Germany, it might be okay. Daddy Lumba could have argued jurisdiction, but it might be okay for her to have done the divorce in Germany because she's based in Germany. And Daddy Lumba has assets in Germany too. But because Daddy Lumba has now passed and Daddy Lumba passed in Ghana, they will have a stronger case on, jurisdiction and rule of law that should apply. And so it could be that's the reason. Her assets in Germany will be protected by German law. Her assets in Ghana is a bit more difficult.
Okay, thank you. Obati wa mpacho kasa baye.
About you, Kasa, na yemfa a gift, Kasa.
No mo topic na
Jumana.
mo discuss no. Eya brofo nti no emi hu ti hu ne nan. Nyame no greni. Dia azantini ba me. Manage ajim pi hu ne de. Mon kasa mi for that emetimi aye.
Jumana, I also agree with 3 colors, yeah. Because say me feel say appeal no litigation a betcha it take so much time. Anka we should focus on like what the judge said, we should focus on getting the certificate authenticated or getting someone who will be readily available should in case we need him to testify, an expert witness. Then we file a fresh case to help Akosua during the distribution of properties. Me feel say no be faster. During that time, no move to me put to injunction on the properties until the case is determined. And during that time, no will be your facts. No judge can sit in Ghana and say this has not been done until you are still not a wife. For me, that's what I feel is the best. And I say, well, I would say the best way to go. Instead, say, appeal no Ghana. Say, the lady has all the support of majority rich people in Ghana, no. Base me dragi issue ni sa manache. But if you go back, even though we say judgments a bias, and I say the judge no one yet also yeah, but then can make me feel say if we concentrate.
Sister na okaza no. Video na abeta abonti na almost sign. Lumba ka je cameraman say onre no ntwa ne yie no. Twa ne yie ba na mra yie. Unwe another unwe.
Mpacho me hu
enough evidence.
Me hu pa.
Enough evidence for appeal.
Yeah, na me hear say omon dragging it too much. E man Nkoaa maame no edru japade eche no.
Sakezwe. It took some of the judges 5 years. But waited 1 month. Ye nya jaja obedin 1 month view. And appeal edie. Faju jim say ebeche. But say accept appeal no that edie and them die any Akosua. They can still put injunction on it, I think.
Oh, okay. Then that works fine.
Yeah, so let me say something about your point, and it is reasonable for you to think, you know what, this is going to be too complex, let's lend it. But I would say someone with legal background that no, I think the courts will look at whether or not you had this determination. Why didn't you appeal it? The court expects you to go through the process. And you would have been able to have a legal remedy through that process, so you should have continued with the process. What I will also rather than accepting the findings, because that become law, and they will use that in the next court hearing to say this is the declaration that's been made, and the court should not divert from the initial decision that was made from the Temasek High Court. So what I would say is that I think that we must put in an appeal. I think that we must put the appeal into a point where we ask for a full rehearing. And I think that in the meantime, you're right, we need to make sure that we get everything that we need to support this appeal. I also believe, and I've said this before, and I don't know what's happening. I also believe we need a lawyer in Germany that will help with that process on behalf of Serwaa. So it can go to the offices, can send letters, can have appointments, and can expedite the process on behalf of Serwaa. So I think if the process is not to forget about this decision, it's to fight a decision at the same time to take other steps to protect her interests. Put a charge on all assets belonging to Daddy Lumba, and do not allow those assets to be distributed by putting a charge on them so that her interests are protected.
Marano, when she's putting the charge in her capacity as the first wife, is it?
Well, she's an interested party. No matter what they say, the courts have declared her as a wife. So she's an interested party now on all Daddy Lumba's assets. So essentially, she could easily argue to the courts that because she's an interested party and there's this ongoing litigation going on, as an interested party, it's just unfair for them to allow her to put a charge on the property until this issue is resolved. So she can protect her interest.
Sorry.
Our judicial system will not feed her when she applied that.
I was thinking as well for those in Germany, maybe if there are women organizations or that can we can speak to, that can help, or maybe push this agenda or something, or maybe law firms, or if there are solicitors in Germany that take cases on pro bono and who would want to, because this is a case that I'm sure international organizations would be interested in. So if it's something that they would be interested in as well, especially for those in Germany, if maybe someone can look into it.
Organization yet, and I don't know if President Tiwa why register more organization register why register all the executive no register.
It's been done.
Good girl. What I want to say is I think we don't, well, if a pro bono wants to support, yes, but we need someone who's going to be actively dealing with this. The reason why I say that is because we need one of the best, and we need them to be no mistakes to be made on this. So yes, it's great, and generally I would say yes. If you can get a really good lawyer that's willing to do it for free, great. But because the process of getting someone in pro bono is hard, and often you can see them once a week or whenever they're free, you're not a priority. We don't want to take any chances. So I would say, let's go and let's get our own lawyer to help us the process. Because if you go online, there is actually, and I maybe the lawyer can also get the Ghana embassy based in Germany to confirm there is no procedure, there is no policy, there's no guidance, there's nothing that is established by the Ghana embassy in Germany and how they will conduct this process. So if depend on who you approach, you might approach a very senior person, and the senior person may know about the Evidence Act and may willing to help you. But the general staff there do not and will refuse to support you if you go up, you approach them. That is what my evidence has proven. And the reason for that is because of the lack of process and procedures that has been established, that is published, so that people can follow or hold people accountable for refusing to provide that service.